I'm about to go to my Botox appointment for symmetry and to make my face feel not like metal. She is in it. It feels like there's a metal sheet in it right now. Okay, so about to go to Botox, right? All right, let's do all the things. First, let's get my hair. Come on, let's get my hair. This is before, then I'll come and sit back down. All right, before. Ready? Smile. Smile bigger. Smirk smile. Big smile. Tell me a joke. That's all I have to tell myself is tell me a joke, and then that makes me laugh. Smirk smile. Okay, kisses. This eye wants to go. I'm gonna force it not to. Snarl. That's hard. Look over to the side chin. Tiny snarl. That's hard. Big snarl. Chin. Eyebrows up. Eyebrows up. Okay, eyebrows in. Just wants to go up. Eyebrows in. I'm controlling it. Controlling it. Got it. Okay. Oh, what was the other thing? I always forget them. I'm feeling better already. That one's been gone for a long time. I already did my smile. I did my kisses. Oh, frown. Yeah, that one goes all the way down. That one doesn't. You know what else I noticed? Look at my ears. I'm going to put it in the white. Look, it's moving a little bit. Okay, the other thing is to notice this. Makes my eye go. This lets you know if your platysmus is working or not, and if it's the one pulling. I don't know. I gotta go. Let me go to my appointment. I'll be back. All right, I had Botox early this morning. I had that first initial visit, and we didn't do much. So she was very light with it, and she explained a little bit more of what Botox does. It basically creates a block in between the nerve and the muscle. And so because I'm still healing, she felt that we shouldn't go too aggressive. She didn't want to go aggressive anyway. She almost wanted to not do anything today. And I'm like, well, listen, two things that I needed help with were I needed help with my chin and I needed help with my eyebrow because this is just drives me nuts, right? And it's funny, I've got a little twitch in my eye. I can feel it right now. So because everything else is still micro healing, I didn't want to touch my eye. She said that it's not a good idea to inject in the cheek because at any point, because a lot of people carry their like tightness in their cheeks. She says it's not really a good point to inject that in there because this will make you droop a lot of times with Botox. So she rarely ever goes in the cheek. If she did anything close to my lips, which I didn't want anyway, because it's still, that could also give it a drooping effect. Mind you, it will go away in 3 months. There was really no evidence one way or another that Botox had any negative effect on your continued healing, but she was erring on the side of caution. So what she ended up doing was putting like 3 points, I think 3 times here. She didn't want to do this side because I have dimpling that happens over here. That happens quite a bit over here. And so these are the pull points for me. She said if she got too close to here, then it would pull either. No, it was awkward because she was like, it'll go up. And I'm like, wait, putting something in here will make this go up? Don't I want that? Or it could go down. I don't remember quite what she said. I need to record these things. We did not go this route. We did not go this route, and we didn't go anywhere near my eye because it's still, again, after doing physical therapy with Pierre, I've noticed a big difference in when I chew. And when she was asking me to do things so that she could see what was happening, I could feel it. Like I could feel how I could control it. She's like, okay, do a snarl. And I'm like, okay, look at what it does when I do a snarl. My dimples come out. I can feel it. It's not that they come out. It has nothing to do with visuals, and a lot of us will tell you that. If anybody goes for Botox, it's for the feel. It's a crazy feel, right? We also go for the visuals. So it's like, okay, it's one or the other, it's both. All right, so that happens when I snarl. And so the other thing that happens is my eye wants to go, but what I learned from physical therapy is you can actually kind of control that. You just have to go slow. I can still snarl. I'm fighting it because I'm teaching it. Eventually, it'll be less and easier and easier. snarl, slight snarl, and then I can teach this too, but I had to stretch it, but after Botox I can't touch it. Okay, now as far as the eyebrow is concerned, we're not going to see much of anything on both of them for at least 5 days. So I'll check back in 5 days. Otherwise, I feel pretty good about it. It's expensive. Oh my goodness, it's so expensive. There's another place that'll do it. That she's an ENT and she does it, but there's another place, like a plastic surgery place, that'll do it. That'll send it out to the insurance, and I might be going to him next because it's pricey. But let me see if there's any difference in any of my movements. Up. Not really. She did it here and here. Here to soften this, and she did it here to get symmetry on both of them. But again, it just happened. This we already kind of checked. Yeah, so we're not going to notice anything for 5 days. So I'll check back in then. Well, it's been about a month and a week since I got the Botox. So what did I get from it? A lot. It was amazing because what's happening is I usually, when I see the stress, that means that I feel the stress. So for me, seeing the stress was these lines in here, and it was so hardcore, and it was so like the lines would go up and down rather than side to side. And so now, like, it's somewhat wearing off a little bit, and it's been like a month and a week or two, but I don't feel it. I'm feeling more symmetrical, which is awesome. It's, again, it's not just about the looks. It is about the feeling. I can feel when my eyebrow is raised, and it just feels awful. Okay, the other thing, now she went super, super light and very conservative because I'm still healing. The other thing that I had issue with were the dimples. So it was right there, right? The thing about the dimples is whenever they activate, it feels like a shock happening. And it's the weirdest thing. It makes you aware that you have RHS. It's not the asymmetry. It makes you aware that it just like your stuff's not connecting in your face. And so with that, she did it conservatively here. She didn't go too far here. So there's still that dimple right there. Now my eyes, we didn't go anywhere near it. She stayed around here. So let me do real quick the tests. Up, up. I'm doing this to my eyebrows, which because of the Botox I can't. So what they call the 11s, mine's gone. But what that does for me is it releases that pain, it's hard to describe it, the pressure, the like how I describe to people, it feels like this. It feels like it looks, like it feels like you're just, oh, it's just, there's so much happening there. So we didn't touch the feeling here, which feels like this, but I'm not touching that yet because I'm still improving there, and I don't want to mess with that while I'm still improving. That felt a lot better too. So the other thing that I'm working on with my physical therapist is getting rid of that pain when it's tight like that. Honestly, if I sit here and do this trigger point in here, or I go in, you can feel if it's thick, that's what needs to be pulled on. That's what needs to be worked on. And after you do the stretches, which are like doing that sort of stuff, after you do that, it really does loosen up. And then I do the stretches in here to kind of help release my smile, which it's still, but look at how much more I have. I'm still having a reaction with my eye, but again, if I just go in and sit here and hold this for a minute, hold this for a minute, hold this for a minute, pressure, trigger point in here, do like 10 seconds for each trigger point, start really stretching along these lines, that won't be affected. Then you start working on smiling. You can feel it, and then I get stop. Same thing with when I close my eyes. I can feel that go up, but I can tell it to stop. But again, I just stretched, so it actually doesn't want to do it that much. The other thing that I have issue with is I have a collapsed nostril. So I can't breathe at night. I have to do a breathe right strip to keep it open. Watch. he taught me some stretches and they worked. I got to breathe without the breathe strip that tears off my skin. So what you want to do is you want to go in, and of course I stretch the nostril and it hurts. When it hurts, that lets me know that it's got some stretching to do. And once it gets used to the stretching, it stops hurting. The other thing is to come in here and really stretch this out. Stretch out both sides. Like stretch these out. After I did that, you stretch and you hold for a minute. If you can help it, walk around. And then once I do that, this looks cool. Once I do that, this works a little bit better. It's amazing. So I'm a big advocate of the physical therapy. It really does make a big difference. He told me when I first saw him that he could get me to 90 to 95%, and I believe it full believe it, because I'm seeing it in action. I'm seeing what happens when I'm having the synkinesis and I stretch and then it goes away. I'm retraining my brain and I'm watching it work. So be diligent. If you have synkinesis, get in touch with a physical therapist. He does telehealth as well and takes insurance. I'll drop a link to his stuff. And yeah, I'm all for the Botox. Like, that was amazing. Now when it wears off, I need to find somebody that takes insurance, because it was hell expensive. Gah! But other than that, it was totally worth it. I think it was worth it. All right, guys. I will update again one day. Probably at the year mark, to be honest. I like to see what happens. See, that's the other thing. I need to retrain my brain when I laugh, because I noticed. See how one goes, but you can retrain it. So then when you do it, you're supposed to kind of watch yourself and feel how it feels and try to get to that spot again to retrain what that eye's supposed to look like when you laugh, when you yawn. I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it. Did you see how it was fighting? It was fighting it, but I'm like, but again, the more you stretch, the more you retrain, the more it can be retrained. So yay! I'll see you guys in like 2 months. October, November, December. 2 months. Bye.